Okay, so let's start today, everyone. And today we're going to start one of the most important libraries especially in your data science journey known as Pandas library. Okay, Pandas, very, very, very important. And trust me, from today till end of the session means at least 10, 15 more sessions, we will have this Pandas all the time. Okay, so from the beginning till today till end, whatever you will use, this Pandas will not leave us. So whatever you will do, we'll do here. Okay, so what we can do with the help of Pandas library? First of all, come to that. Pandas library. Why it can be helpful? Understand the basic purpose of this. What this is used for data analysis. Remember that this library basically is used for data analysis. Means some data set may be given to you, and you will be asked to do derive insight from that data set. Example: who's your top consumer? Who is your bottom consumer? Okay, what is year-wise sales? Something like this information you want to derive. Okay, for that case, actually, this Pandas library is very, very, very popular, and especially data analysts use this library huge. Okay. Second, we use it for data exploration, means analysis, and we can say exploration as well. Explore means explore the data so that you can get the insight from the data. First of all, we can say means we are doing the analysis. So for doing the analysis, first of all, we should do exploration of the data. Explore the data. Okay. Example: how many columns are there? How many rows are there? Okay. What kind of data type each column is having? Okay. And which column is important for me? You want to see all exploration data. Actually, we call them in a machine learning word EDA. That is exploratory data analysis. Okay. In machine learning world or data science world, we call this process as EDA. Okay. Exploratory data analysis. Okay. And this is most important thing. I understand everyone. Okay. What thing? Data exploration. If you are devoting sufficient time on the data exploration, okay, so you can get insight from your data. Okay. You can get insight from the data. And if you are getting insight from the data, you can build an awesome machine learning model. Awesome machine learning model. So most of the time, understand everyone, 70%, and if I consider that 100 hours is taken to design a project, out of those 100 hours, at least 60 to 70 hours you will be devoting only on EDA. Okay, only on EDA, understanding your data well. If you understand your data well, rest of the things are very, very, very easy. For example, you understand your data well, and you found out, okay, what is the relationship between my output parameters and the input parameters? You found out, okay, then you can choose which of the columns are important for me to build a machine learning model. What are the parameters which are important for me? Okay, what kind of relationship I should choose? What kind of model I should choose? Okay, because there are several machine learning models. Not every machine learning model works well on every kind of data. So if you analyze your data very well, you will be able to choose which machine learning model will fit on this particular kind of data. That's why this exploratory data analysis is very, 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 very important. Okay, so let me come here. So how to use the Pandas library? Okay, you have to import this library directly. It is not available. You have to import it. So to import this library, you have to mention import Pandas. Directly you can use it, import Pandas. Okay, and it will work. But most of the cases, we don't use a complete word Pandas, we create an alias. Okay, alias. Alias means nickname, you can call it as. Means instead of Pandas, whenever we will call Pandas, you will use the word PD. Okay, not mandatory that you use the word PD. You can give any name of your choice that you want to give. Any name of your choice that you want to give to this Pandas. PS. I can give my name, Praveer. If I want, I can give PS. But this is the most recommended way what professionals follow. Okay, so also you should follow the same thing. Like remember, for the NumPy, we was using NP. Similarly, for Pandas, we built PD. And this Pandas has been actually built on the top of NumPy only. Remember, this has been built on the top of NumPy. So let me execute this. So my Pandas have been imported successfully. Now suppose I should know what is my present working directory. So I'm coming here, I'm checking PWD, present working directory. So this is my present working directory. So actually I want to check some data that is available in my present working directory or not. That is C users del. So let me go there to C users del. And I think, let me check. Yeah, I do have. Awesome. Let me just check. Open with Notepad. Yeah, perfect. It is there. Awesome. Titanic. Okay. So what I want, actually, I want to read data, understand, read data of a CSV file, which is stored in my system and which is there, as I just showed you, it is here in C drive users del. Okay. And the file name is Titanic. So let me come here. This is the file. I just opened this. This is actually a CSV file. which is currently available, right? And there's few columns: survive, passenger class, name, sex, age, siblings, parents, and chief here. Okay, so this is in a tabular structure right now. You are seeing in the Excel, that's why it's looking like a tabular structure, but actually this is a comma separated value. Okay, file CSV file, comma separated value file. So if I right and click this, okay, and open with Notepad, then you will see why it is a comma separated file. Can you see, everyone? The first attribute has been mentioned, then a comma, second attribute, comma, third attribute, comma, fourth attribute, comma, fifth attribute, comma, siblings attribute, comma. So different attributes mentioned at the top. Then their corresponding values mentioned: 0, comma, 3, comma, Mr. whatever name, then male, then whatever is a thing are there. So whatever values are mentioned here, can you see how they are separated? They are separated by commas there. Okay, they're separated by commas. If you observe them properly, see what is survive. Survive means he is mentioned for the survive, it is mentioned 0. What is his passenger class? He was traveling in the passenger class 3. What was his name? His name was Mr. Owen Harris Broad. What was his gender? That is mentioned as male. What was his age? Age was 22. How many siblings and spouse was aboard? So it mentioned 1. How many parents and children aboard was 0. Okay. And how much fare he paid? He paid 7.25 pound. Similarly, other persons, okay, survived 1. Okay, passenger class, he was traveling in the first class. Name was Mrs. John Bradley. Okay, and she was female. Okay, and age was 38. Siblings 1. Parents is 0. Okay, and how much fare she paid? Of course, she was traveling in the first class, so she paid 71.23. But how the values are separated? They are separated by commas. That's why the file is known as what? Comma separated value. That's why the file is known as comma separated value. So, but I want to read this file. Okay, so that I can analyze this data and I can build some machine learning model in such kind of data. Okay, so I want to do complete ED on the same. I want to do build my machine learning. So before doing that, actually I want to bring it data. Okay, I want to bring this data into my Pandas library. So what I will do, I will just close this. I'll come to my Pandas library and I will use, remember what I have used? PD. So it has different methods. What? PD dot, different method it has. Read. Okay, underscore. There is a method known as read underscore CSV. So if I press tab here, see different messages, different methods are there. It can read a clipboard file, CSV file, Excel file, feather file. There are several which even I haven't not used. Okay, and JSON file. Okay, SAS file, SPSS file, SQL file, SQL query, SQL tables, data, XML. So different options are there. I want to read right now what? CSV file. So I will just type here C and press tab, CSV file. Okay, now I'll put a square parenthesis here, and this parenthesis I will mention the path where my file is there. Okay, and what my file path is already, it is available in the proper location, that is C users del. So I don't have to worry because it is in the same directory. I can just mention my file name, and my file name I will mention in the single quotes or double quotes. So I'm mentioning Titanic dot CSV file. Okay, I just mentioned this and let me execute this. Okay, once I execute this, this is my data which is available. Okay, this is my first column, second column, third column, fourth column, fifth column, sixth column, seventh column, eighth column. Means I'm seeing my data in a structured format in terms of rows and columns. Okay, but actual file was not this, but it is smartly able to recognize because we've used a what CSV, and every value was separated by a comma, so it automatically recognized. Okay, what is first column, what is second column, what is third column, what is fourth column, what is fifth column, and it give me the value in terms of structure format. First column, second column, third column, fourth column, fifth column, sixth column, seventh column. Okay, and see smartly, it is even able to recognize the first row is what? Your column headers. Okay, and nowhere we mention in our CSV file. If we go to our CSV file, okay, nowhere it was this. If I open this with Notepad, see, is there something mentioned that first your first row is your column headers? Anywhere, survive, passenger class, name, sex, age, sibling, nowhere, but it is able to recognize that. Why is the reason? Why it is able to recognize that? Actually, there are several parameters available inside this method, CSV method, and among that, one parameter is actually known as header. Okay, this is the method header. Okay, and this header method is by default what? Infer. Infer means automatically recognize that first row is a header. Infer, like this. Automatically it is there. If I execute this, even my result will not change. Same result is there. Okay, but suppose I don't want this column headers as, sorry, these values as a column header. I want them as a row. I want to bring this survived here as well, passenger class here as well, name here as well, sex here as well. So I want to tell them, okay, I don't have any column headers. Okay, don't understand. So instead of here, I have to mention header is equal to none. If I execute this, can you see everyone? Even the survived, passenger class, name, sex, age, sibling, parent, they have come as a part of the first row. Okay, so this is very, very important parameter. By default, it is what? By default, it is nothing but this. Let me actually copy this so that you can see. The default is this. Header is equal. Let me increase the font. Yeah, come on, come on. Header is equal to default value is infer. Okay, so it is able to recognize first row as a header. That's why you're able to see that. So by default, we normally don't touch our headers, but you should know. You should know, okay, how to enable my first line as a header. So this is the function which is, sorry, this is the parameter which is available inside my pd.readme underscore csv method. Okay, now it has been read it, right? So right now it is available here, but what has happened? If I want to do some kind of processing on the same, if I want to do some kind of processing on the same, so what should I do? I should create an object. Okay, I should create an object. So how will create an object? Better I create a variable name, give it a variable name. And normally for the data's frame, we give the name df and something. D for data, F for frame. Actually, whatever you have seen this table-like structure, this table-like structure is known as data frame. Pandas data frame structure. Data frame, where you will put the data. So this is the frame of the data where you are putting your data. Okay, so what is happening now? An object will be created of the pandas data frame, right? Where this data will be stored. Okay, and the label will be assigned. That label will be what? df. So df will now point to this data frame which is available. So if I execute again and check my this is my df right now. If you want to check it, I can again execute this, but this is not a better way. Understand, whenever you read the data file, right, it's reading. Perfect, I'm reading that. But what you should do, sometime in real time scenario, you may be getting some data which is having billions of rows. Okay, billions and billions of rows. So it is not a good practice that you directly want to see all the data which is available. Makes no sense. Right now in all I have 880 rows. This data is very small, but in real time it may have a billions of rows. Okay, and what happened if I directly print this df? So whatever data we are seeing here, the data is coming where? Its data is coming to the ram. This data is coming from the RAM, coming to the RAM. From the hard disk, it is coming to the RAM. But if your data set is too huge, it will occupy your huge amount of RAM. And sometime your system will freeze. Okay, sometime your system will freeze. This is fine. I'm working at my own system, but in real-time practical environment, you may be working on a server directly. Okay, or you may be working in a shared environment where all other team members are working. They're sharing some resources. Okay, in that cases, what will happen if your system freeze? Okay, then there may be a problem. If you are working on a system on a server and server got freeze, then trust me, there will be a huge problem for you, because of you, your entire team will suffer. So what is a better practice? Don't use directly see the df. Don't see directly df. Okay, although it will work. See, it will show me the entire data. But right now the rows are very small, so it is occupying very less amount of RAM. But suppose it is having billions of rows, it will occupy huge amount of RAM. Then only it will become visible. So what is a better practice? Always see few rows only. That is sufficient. Always see only few rows. That is more than ample for you. Okay, don't unnecessarily go for seeing all the data. So what is a better practice? Go with df dot. There are few methods available again for this data frame. But understand, first I told you, now a pandas data frame has been created. How will I verify, okay, what it is? So let me show you. If I print type of df, let me execute this. What it is showing, see, it's an object of which class? Data pandas class, data frame. Okay, it's actually a pandas data frame, what you are seeing. So object is, this is an object of which class? Pandas.core.frame.data frame. Okay, so it's an object of pandas data frame class right now, which is available in front of you. Okay, so this every class has some, remember we have studied every class has some methods and attributes. So similarly, your data frame also has the attributes and the methods. Similarly, your class, it belongs to one class. Now this is an object, and remember what happened? Whatever object we will create, it will possess the attributes and the method of the corresponding class. It will possess the attributes and the method of the corresponding class. So this data frame object that we have created will definitely directly have the attributes and the method of the data frame class. Among that, there is a method known as head method. Okay, there is a method known as head method. There are several methods which you will see slowly. And how to see the method? It is an object. Now press tab. See, all the methods which are available will appear in front of you. Huge amount of methods which are available. Although you will not be using all the time, but you should know, yes, how to reach there. And we know how to actually use it as per our requirement. Use any function, example main. If I go inside and read the definition, what it is saying, and use it as per your requirement. Okay, that we will see slowly, slowly. So there is a method known as head. Okay, I just press H. So two methods are coming from the H and head and his. I want to use head this time. Is a parenthesis. Okay, and read what it says. See, return the first n rows. Okay, returns the first n rows means what? Whatever number you will specify. Okay, whatever number you will specify, it will give you those rows only. Suppose I specify top df dot head 5, so it will show you first 5 rows of your data frame, and that is a default value. That's why it is mentioned that integer value is 5. So if I execute directly, it will show me the first 5 rows of the data frame. Data frame. Okay, let me execute this. See, so only 5 rows are visible. Okay, and to get an insight of the data, how many columns are there, what kind of data type this is having, the first 5 rows are sufficient. If you want, no, I'm not satisfied with the 5. Awesome, no problem. Go here again, type df.head. Okay, and I can mention here 10. Whatever number you will specify, your choice. This time I will get 10 top 10 rows, 0 to 9. Right, 0 to 9. So it will give me top 10 rows this time to explore the data. So unnecessary building millions of rows, only use head function and see what kind of data you are having. Okay, you are getting an insight of the top. Fine, that is fine. Let me show one thing. Even you are not satisfied, you can make it 100, no problem. This time you will see 100 rows like this, right? But never, normally we go to 5 to 10 rows. That is more than simple. Okay, similarly you want to see bottom 10 rows. So you have a function known as df.tail this time. Yes, it show you bottom 5 rows. See, return last n rows. So by default it is 5. So if I use it, it will show me bottom 5 rows. Done. See, I'm getting last 5 rows. Okay. Similarly, I'm not satisfied with the last 5. I want to see last 10. So again, you can change the parameter. Done. Okay. These are the last 10 rows. So for getting the insight of the data, it's not mandatory that you see entire data. Okay. It's not a good practice because what is happening? See, even I'm having here 887 rows. There are several rows which will not be visible to you even. Can you see here? I'm using directly my data frame. Still, there are several rows which are not visible to you, but they're unfortunately occupying your RAM. Why you are doing that? You're not able to see them. Then why you want to waste your memory? You want to hang your system. That's why these head method and tail methods have been designed to help you out the same. Okay, you could look at the data. Okay, I have a column known as survived column, passenger class column, name column, sex column, age column, siblings column, a parent children abroad column, fair column, which is enough to know about from the 5-10 rows. More than sufficient. So far, everyone, any doubt in this? Whatever we have seen so far, please tell me. I'm waiting, everyone. Okay, Varun. Others, please. At least say yes or no. I'll come to know. Varun is saying yes. Others, everyone, any doubt so far? At least say yes or no. So I'll come to know. You can type in the chat section if you're feeling hesitation in telling something. Okay, fine. Okay, great. So let me move ahead now. Okay, I'm coming here. And this time, suppose, as I told you, this is a data frame, right? A table-like structure, rows and columns. Okay, so rows and column that you are seeing right now is what? A data frame. We just saw here. What? With the help of this type function. What it is? A data frame. But if we consider individual column, okay, of this data frame or individual rows of this data frame, these are known as series, Pandas series. Remember, okay? If you consider the entire table that you are seeing, table like structure or data structure that you are seeing right now is your Pandas data frame, right? But if you consider individual columns, this, or if we consider individual rows, remember these individual rows or columns are known as Pandas series. And those series actually behave like very much like a list. So any operation that you can do on the list, almost same operation you can do on these individual columns, because this will be important. Okay, sometime actually we will be requiring, because this is, see, this is a column known as sex column, which is having male, female, female, male, female. Okay, we can't directly use it for building machine learning model, because machine learning model only accept numbers. It doesn't understand text. So we will have to convert, take this particular column, and we have to convert that into a numeric column, right? So we can pick individual, we can select individual rows, we can select individual columns from this data frame that we will see stage by stage. For example, let me come here. Okay, and what is my data frame? My data frame is known as df. Okay, and suppose I want to access any column of this, how can I access? I will come here, df I will mention. Okay, within the square bracket I will mention my column name. Okay, within the square bracket I will mention my column name. Suppose I use my column name known as, suppose, anything, name. Let me pick name. Okay, let me execute this. You can see I'm able to access the individual column, and it is having what names start from here. Where is the top 5 row? Mr. Owen Harris Bound, then Mrs. John Bradley, then Miss Lina Hagen, and you can observe from here, right? So I'm able to, any column you want to access, instead of name, you want to access any other column, your choice. Suppose you want to access the column known as survived column. Just ensure that your name is correct, right? Ensure that your names are 100% correct. Survived. See, I'm able to access that column. Okay, and now you're going to check is what is the data type of this. You can again use type of. Okay, pick this column name. Just put it here. It is what? Pandas series. Remember, it's a series, and very common interview question. You know the difference between series and data frame. Remember, if you talk about entire structure, okay, entire structure which is having rows and columns, this is your data frame. Okay, but if we talk about individual columns, or if we talk about individual rows, those are known as series. Okay, this survived column that we are seeing, name column I'm seeing, this is what? This is your series. Similarly, the row number 877 is what? A series. Row number 878 is what? A series. So individual rows or individual columns are known as series, and individual and complete combination of rows and columns, if we talk about, this is a data frame. Okay, it's nothing but a data frame. And as I told you, you can do anything with this that you want, like a list. For example, we have a column here. Okay, it's survived column. So df survived. Okay, in a square bracket, double quote or single quote, both will work. Let me execute. This is my column. Okay, so remember, how do we access the element of a list? In a square bracket, we pass their index. Okay, in a square bracket, we pass their index. So same way we can do here. Same way. Suppose I want to access only elements, this one, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So how do we access the element? Remember, from the 0 colon, start index is 0. I want to access how many elements? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is the index of this? 4. Okay. So I will mention here one more than that, that is 5. So if I execute this, I will get only this 0, 1, 0, triple 1, 0. So if I execute this, can you check everyone? Right, 0 triple 1 0. How? Because this is my start index and this is my end index. So always take one less than that row. It will give you my element from the index 0 to 4. If you want to do slicing, I can do further slicing. Suppose I want alternate numbers. Okay, I want 0, then I want 2, and then I want 4. That means I want 0, 1, 0 only. Okay, so now I can put a step size of 2 here. See, 0, 1, and 0. So what we get? 0, 2, and 4. The way we use the list, so you can operate your column like you always use with the list. Okay, so it behaves very much like your list. So your list method that you can apply. Similarly, you can operate this. You want to do indexing, you want to do slicing, anything we can do with the help of this df survive column. So they behave like a list. Remember that. Okay, so we can say that the series behave like list structure. Okay, series behave like a list structure, right? Awesome, done. So just series. But what happened, understand, we will see some algorithm. Okay, in machine learning or in research, you may see that there will be some algorithm which do not accept, okay, series. Okay, they do not accept series. They accept what? A data frame. They accept a data frame only. I repeat once again, there will be some algorithm where you want to pass, first of all, one column example. You want to pass only one column. Okay, so when you will select with this method one column, that column will be nothing but a series only. But there will be some algorithm which will not be able to accept. They will say, no, no, I don't want to accept what? Series. I will only accept data frame. So what I can do while picking this value, I can mention here square bracket. Okay. And I can put one more square bracket like this. And within that, I can pass my column name like survived. Okay. And if I this time execute, you will see that when I'm using directly df survive, I'm not seeing any column header. Okay. And that column header name means this survived and everything is available when it is a data frame. So if I execute this within a square bracket, I put one more square bracket and within that I put my column name. So if I execute this, everyone, can you see this time what I'm getting? I'm even getting that column name this time. That means what? It is a now a data frame. If I check type of this, df survive, see what I'm getting. I'm getting a data frame. So remember how to convert a series into a data frame. Because it will happen that you have to pass a one column as an input there, but that column cannot accept, remember, as a series. It can only accept data frame. So how to convert that? Whatever your column name is that, okay? So use df word, put one square bracket, put one more square bracket, and within that square bracket, pass your column name. You are done. Now this will be your data frame and you can identify, right? Because you are having your column headers this time. In your series, you don't have your column name. See, no column names here. Again, you have a structure here. Proper set is what? Data frame. Similarly, what may be a requirement? Okay, you may have 150 columns. Okay, but for building your machine learning model, only 10 or 15 columns are required. But you receive your data in which you have 150 columns. Okay, but you want to work only on 10 columns this time. Unnecessary, who will build your 150 columns you will take? Unnecessary, your model will be very, very big in terms of data. So I want to use only 10 columns. So what I can do? Again, same thing I can do. I can use df, see properly everyone. I can put a square bracket and I can put one more square bracket this time. And within that square bracket, whatever columns you want, actually this is nothing but a square bracket, it will be a list. So you're passing here a list of columns that you want to select. Okay, so you want this column one, survived column. So just mention this column, right? Any other column you want, just take that column. For example, there's a column known as name column I want. Example, I'm just giving example, right? There's also a column known as fair column I want. Okay, there's also a column known as age column I want. I don't want all the columns. I want just these columns. Survive, name, fair, and age. Okay, so after the df, I use put a square bracket and within one more square bracket means as a list, I pass all my column names which are required. So if I execute it this time, see, I'm getting only 4 columns: survived, name, fair, and age. And you can see which structure is this, everyone. This is not a list. This is what a data frame. Okay, and you could save it anywhere you want. Suppose I save it in a new variable, new data frame known as df name. Done. Now it is available for you. Now you can use it in the machine learning model the way you want, because I have only these 4 columns which will be used for analysis. So you don't have to select all the columns. You can select the columns that you want to use. And how you can use? Again, your data frame, whatever your original data frame name is, put one square bracket and within one more square bracket, that is your list format, pass your column names, okay, within the quotes. So now only these column names will be picked up. Only these column names will be picked up from df, which you can save in a new variable. Now this new variable is your new data frame, which you can use for further analysis. Tell me everyone so far, is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, great, great. Okay, so let me move ahead. Fine. See, similarly, now you are seeing the data. Sometime what will happen, everyone? You will not be able to see all the columns here. Okay, right now it is having only 8, 9 columns. That's why you are able to see that. But how will I come to know? How will I come to know how many columns are there? Actually, right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns are there. That's why it is visible. Suppose you have 150 columns. So of course, those will not be visible here. Trust me, those will not be visible here. I'll show you. Even 30 columns will not be visible here, right? So how will I come to know how many columns are there in my data set? So what I can do, I can first of all check what is the shape of my data frame. Okay. For example, I've used this one. So I can pass what? df dot shape. This is what an attribute, because attribute does not consist of this parentheses. Okay, so in my data frame I have an attribute known as shape. It tells me how many rows are there and how many columns are there. So if I execute this, so it's telling me in my data set there are 887 rows and 8 columns. There are 887 rows and 8 columns, and it is very, very, actually very, very important. Until you know the shape, you will not be able to understand, okay, how many columns I have to pick. Okay, so 887.850 is telling me I have 887 rows and 8 columns in my data set, and we can verify from this, everyone. This one, I think, at the top. When we use see, how many? Can you observe, everyone? Not this one. Let me go here. When we use infer, let me do one thing. Yeah, we can verify from anywhere actually. Let me do one thing. Let me show you DF directly. Okay, but not a good practice. But let me show you. See, we are starting from 0 and ending at 886. So how many rows are there? 887 rows. And how many columns are there? 8 columns. So 887 rows and 8 columns I do have. Same information I'm getting here, right? But suppose from this I get, okay, I have a 8 column, but what are those columns? I want to see their name. Okay, I want to see their name because they, suppose in your case there are 150 columns and all 150 columns cannot appear here. So, but I want to see their name. Okay, so again I have one more attribute, this time known as columns. So df dot columns attribute. Okay, this will tell me all the names of the columns. Okay, doesn't matter how many columns there are, 150, so you will get all the name visible in front of you. Example this, right? So these all are the columns: survived column, passenger class column, name column, sex column, age column, sibling column, spouse column, parent children abroad, and fair column. So all column names will be visible here. Okay, so in this case, example 8 is there, so it is very easy. But you have 150 columns, so all 150 columns name at least will be visible here, because those will not be visible here. But I want to see them from here. I want to see them. Okay, so some column which is not appearing here, I want to see his data. Now I can see. Or I can see, for example, this. How can I access those? I pushed here a df.columns is there. Let me copy this. Same thing. See. Okay, I put a square bracket. Okay, and see, this is very, very simple. If I come here, I want to get its name. Somehow I want to get its name. Anything I want to access the name, right? What is this? This is first column. So what is the index of this? Python is 0 index. So this is 0. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4, and so on. So what I can do? I can make sure example 0 here. So I will get my survived column name. Okay. If I will put 1 here, I will get my, sorry, this column name. And once actually column names are in front of you, then there is no problem at all. You can access those. For example, if I come here and mention df, okay, suppose that column, there is a column known as age column. Okay, and unfortunately that column is not visible here. So I want to access that. I know how to access that. Df square bracket and my column name. What is my column name? Each column. Okay, and I can use my head. See, I'm able to see what kind of data it is having from 5 rows. Okay, so some column which is not able to see visible here. Okay, for example, see, there are some rows which are not visible here. From 4 to 881 rows, these are not visible. Same thing will happen when we will have a multiple columns. Okay, so how will you analyze, okay, what kind of data it is having? For that purpose, first drag, okay, what are the column names? Okay, what are the column name by using df.column? From that, pick any column which is not visible here and analyze it. Okay, what kind of data it is having? So you will come across that immediately. Okay, within the 1 second, you will come to know what kind of data it is having. Okay, very, very easy. Similarly, there are few things that we have to do. This is done. We have done so far. Very, very easy. Now let me come again. Okay, I want to get more information about every column, which is the column available, survey, passenger class, name. That is visible, right? I want to get more information of the same. So we have again few attributes. See, df dot d types. Okay, df dot d type. There is a method known as df dot d types. Let me execute this. See, so it will tell me all the column names which are visible here. Okay, and their corresponding data type. Their corresponding data type. You may be thinking, sir, why this is actually important? This is very, very, very important. I told you, your machine learning algorithm will not understand any kind of text. The only thing that they will understand is what? Your numbers, nothing more than that. Okay, so from this, wherever this integer and floating point is mentioned, don't worry, no problem, it is able to understand. But wherever you find this object, that is actually your text. Okay, that is actually your text. So you need to convert those name columns and the sex column into the numeric data. Okay, so from looking at the d type, you will come to know which column I have to work on, because your machine learning algorithm cannot understand text. And see here, If you come here, this name is having text, this sex is having text, all rest are numeric, no problem. But this is your text. In the text here in Pandas data frame, it will be mentioning you as the object. So from this, you can notify one thing, okay? There are two columns. If I'm going to use them in a machine learning algorithm, I have to ensure that those things needs to be converted into the numeric form. How will we do that? That we will see. No problem with that. But you should understand what is the purpose of the same. So we'll come from this. There are two columns which needs to be converted, and you can note it down by using markdown on anything. Okay. For example, you can come here and you can click here and you can mention M. Okay. It comes into the markdown and you can mention here example, the columns, which one? Name and sex are objects. Okay. Second, we need to convert them into numbers. Okay. Or numeric format. Numeric format. Okay. So any finding that you are seeing from this, you should do that. Encoding. Okay. This we'll call it as encoding. Okay. There are different encodings available. Okay. We are encoding that. This process is known as encoding. Okay. So far, fine, everyone. What is the purpose of this? Tell me, is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. Let me move ahead now. See, but if you want to get more information, which is very, very important, we have one method here, df.info. Okay, df.info. It will give you more insight than d types only. Okay, d types is only telling you what is the data type of corresponding column. It will give you more information. Okay, means how many missing values you are having. How many missing values? What do you mean by missing values? Means what happened? Suppose you are getting data from somewhere. Okay, so sometime due to any difficult and due to any reason, okay, some person forget to enter the data in a particular cell. Okay, or you miss something to enter there. In such scenarios, actually what happened, you will get a missing value, and your machine learning algorithm don't accept the missing values. So two primary things that you need to do in every machine learning algorithm: convert your text column into numeric column, and second, deal with those missing values. Either remove those rows which are having missing values, or do something with those missing values. Means substitute. Normally we do imputation. Imputation means putting some value there. Okay, what value we will put, I'll tell you that. Okay, putting some values there. So you want to identify how many missing values are there. Okay, how many missing values are there? I want to know. Example, right? So that information means, is there any missing value, is there or not? Okay, available or not? All my data is clean. For that purpose, actually we have this df.info. Okay, so what it is showing, see, survived column, passenger column, name column. Okay, everything it is mentioning here. What in terms of data type is mentioned: integer, float, integer, object. But it is also showing what: 887 non-null, 887 non-null, 887 non-null, 887 non-null. Awesome. Means there is no missing value. But suppose I bring some another data set, where it is. Let me go one way. I think it is in D drive, if I'm sure. I have to check that. So let me come here. Let me try df1 equals to pd dot read underscore csv, and it's in D drive. So I have to mention the path properly. So I'm mentioning d colon slash, and I think my file name is, if I'm correct, trial1 dot xlx. Okay, then if it is Excel, then I have to use the Excel method here. Let me check. I'm not sure that file is there or not. Yeah, it is there, luckily. Okay, so file name is xlx. That's why I'm using the Excel method this time. Okay, and let me check this method, df1 dot head. Okay, can you see here? I'm seeing some NaN values, right? I'm seeing some NaN values here, right? So in this row, I have an NaN value. In this row, I have an NaN value. In this row, I have an NaN value. And what actually this data look? What is the NaN value? Let me go there. You can check. In D drive, there is a trial one. Come on. Trial one. Yeah, it is a file. Okay. And if you see here, somebody has forgotten to enter the value here. This is a missing value. Somebody has forgotten the value to enter here, missing value. Somebody has forgotten to enter the value here. That is what missing value. These are our missing values. Okay. And it happened because of some kind of mistake. Some kind of mistake due to some reason, the person forget that your machine learning model doesn't accept these values. Okay. These values, when I'm reading inside the Python, these are recognized as NaN. That is not a number that we are seeing here. Okay. These are recognized. See, in the first row, in the D column, there is NaN. See, right? In this first column, in the fourth row, I have a NaN. See, in the last row, in the A, I have a NaN. See, so this is what are missing values. Okay, these should not be there. So how will I get this information? This information is not available through this D type method. Only thing that I'm going to know what kind of data type it is having. Okay, now I want to know this information. So again, see how many rows are there in total? 1, 2, 3, 4. This will tell me in every column how many non-null values are there. So if I use this df1.info, okay, and check everyone. In total, I have 4 rows, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. But come to the first column. First column is what? This column. Okay. In the name is 1. Check how many rows are there which is having non-missing values, non-null values. So 1, 2, and 3. It will not be counted. So it is showing me 3 non-null. Right? Come to the second. Again, count 1, 2, 3. This one not be counted because it is having missing value. So how many 3? 3. Okay. Similarly, here again, 1, 2, 3. This middle one will not be counted. Again, what I'm getting 3. So from this, immediately insight should come to your mind. Okay. I have 4 rows. Okay. But in first column, it is showing 3 non-null. That means there is 100% one row which is having missing values. Okay. Similarly, in second column, again, I have 4 rows, but I'm getting only 3 here. That means what? Again, it should come to my mind. Definitely, there is one missing value because in total, there are 4. It is showing me 3. Similarly, again, D. Overall, these are 4, but it is showing 3 non-null. So it is telling me immediately should come to mind, okay, there are 4 entries, but out of which in every column, I'm having one missing value. Okay, that thing should automatically come to your mind. That thing should automatically come to your mind, okay? And how can I come to know? Better than this, if you're finding confusion, better than method is there. Suppose I can mention df1 dot. Again, there is a method known as is null. Okay, and if I execute this, see, it will show me in which row I am having and which portion I'm having the missing value. See, if I see here, false, false, means not missing, not missing. Here I am having a missing value. Okay. Similarly, come here, false, false, false. Here I'm having a missing value. Come here, true. I'm having a missing value. Okay. From this, you can understand, but this is again a better way than that. You have used this method, dot is null method. Over that, apply directly a sum method like this. Okay. I repeat once again, I mention use a method known as is null, which will check every value of your data frame, and wherever it find the missing value, it will mention true, and wherever it will not find the missing value, it will show false. Okay, so wherever it finds the missing value, in that cell it will place true, otherwise everywhere I will get false. Okay, but better is that I want to do the sum. Sum will do what? Nothing. Sum will just sum the true values. True will be treated as 1, okay, and false will be treated as 0. So for first column I will get 1. Okay, second column also I will get 1 because there is only one missing value. Here also I will get only 1. So if I execute this, this is a better way. It will tell you how many missing values are there in this column, in this column, and this column. Okay, so I come to know in column number whose name is 1, I'm getting one missing value. In column number A, I'm getting missing value 1. In column number 2, D, I'm getting one missing values. This is very, very important. Understand everyone? This is, I'm giving emphasis on the same thing. Your machine learning model should not have a missing values. Okay, when you train on machine learning model, before working on your machine learning model, ensure that you don't have any missing values. Okay, so this is the way. How can you come across? With the help of info method, or you can use this method to know about the missing values. Okay, how many missing values are there? But if you go to our original data frame, what is the name? DF. Okay, it is showing all not null. Okay, in total I have 887 entries. It is showing 887 entries, and all 887 are non-null, means there is no missing value anywhere. And we can verify. See, if I mention here df dot is null, okay, dot sum. See, everywhere, that means there is no missing values in any column. So you are lucky. Okay, you don't have any missing values in your data set. So this is the way to analyze how many missing values are there in my data set. Immediately you will come to know from this. How many missing values are there? Clear, everyone? Tell me. Fine so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, move ahead, right? If it is fine, let me move ahead. Now let me show one thing, everyone. Sometime actually your data is available at my own system. Sometime data will not be available at your system. Okay, you may have to fetch from a website as well. That is actually very, very easy. For example, if I come here and type here example this way, Titanic Dataset GitHub example. Okay, so click on anyone, doesn't matter, any link. Okay, so there is some data set available here. Okay, and I want to fetch this data. It is what actually a CSV file. Can you see? Okay, so you should do one thing, click on the raw, because sometime it will be happening, you will be fetching data from GitHub and everything where your CSV file is stored. Okay, so just click on raw like this, and if you see this time, this is what a CSV file only that we were seeing at our system. Okay, so it is even available on the net, no problem, just copy the link. I'm repeating the process. Just open the where it is available. Okay, if you're seeing, okay, it is a CSV file, from the URL also you can recognize. Click on the raw so that it converts into a proper CSV file. Just paste the URL, sorry, copy the URL, come to your GitHub, sorry, not GitHub, your Pandas library. Okay, and just use a data frame, whatever. Suppose I'm giving the data frame now, this time dfx is equal to again pd dot read underscore, which kind of data it is having, everyone, this time again CSV, right? So CSV. Okay, and within the square bracket, or well, sorry, within the parentheses, either single quote or double quote, paste the URL that you have copied, right? Just like this. Okay, I repeat once again, because we are reading a CSV file, I just use pd.read underscore CSV, and I copying the data from this CSV file. So let me execute this. Okay, it has been done, and let me verify. So instead of showing complete data, I will use only top 5 rows to visualize. Yes, perfect. Okay, so I'm able to bring data from somebody's GitHub account, which is hosted on a URL, and just pasted his URL and use in my data frame. Now it is available. Now, if you want to always connect to this is fine. But suppose you want to save this data in your system. So yes, you can save it very, very easily. You can save it. How? Simple. You can come here and at your system, you want to save it. What is the variable which is holding your data? That is dfx. So you can mention dfx dot, okay, 2, okay, underscore. If I press tab, you will see various methods how you want to save it, to Excel file, to CSV file. Okay, different formats are there in which you can save it. Okay, but we want to save it to the CSV file. So I'm going to mention to CSV. Okay, and now you can specify the path where you want to save it. Okay, dfx means this is the variable which is having my data. Okay, from this website, and right now it is in the RAM, but I want to save it to my hard disk. Okay, so I use dfx dot to underscore CSV method, in which I will mention my path where I want to save. Suppose I want to save in my D drive, so I mention my D colon slash, and suppose what is the date today, 13th June 2022 dot CSV file. Okay, this is I'm saving. Just execute this. It has been saved, and you can verify. Suppose I go to my D drive this time. Okay, and view. If I click on the view tab, and let me sort by date modified. Okay, at the top itself, can you see, everyone? We just created a 724. So this file has been saved. In this file, I have a data which I require. And see, the data is available here, which you can use as per your requirement, because now it is in your system. So you can use the way you want. Okay, so this is the CSV file that you bring from somewhere, but not only CSV file. If any table is having some tables in the HTML format, yes, you can fetch from the website again. Okay, actually, I intentionally saved the file for the same purpose. Let me click on a new tab. If I go here, go to the bookmarks, I think where it is. Oh, I don't have bookmarks. Let me just check again. Bookmarks, I saved. Go, yeah, example this. Okay, so I have a table available here on this page. This is again a link, but this table actually is available in a HTML format. It is see, it is saved on a web page in terms of HTML. Okay, and as a a class to be table. I can verify. Example, let me show you that. If I bring any name, just remember any name, suppose Stephen Adams. Okay, I want to search for this. So for whatever page you are getting displayed behind that, you have a HTML script for the same. So if I right and click this, click on view page source. Okay, and let me just remember the name. What name we want to select? What should I suppose? Deng Adel. Let me remember the name. Okay, and search Control F. Eleng. What is the name here? Come on, come on. Deng Adel. Sorry, Deng Adel. Right? And can you see his name is here? Okay, his name is here, and if we want to see his class, okay, there should be a class. Can you see what is the class he is having? As a table class. Okay, so this is the HTML code available, and this is saved in a table tag. Sorry, table class. Okay, this is in a table class. So what will happen? We have a method available if we have some tables saved in the form of HTML format in any web page. From that web page also we can fetch the data. Okay, we don't need to come to here and see. We can see from this here itself. Okay, there is a table available, and I want to fetch this table. Okay, into my system. So what I can do, I can again just copy this URL, whatever is the URL. Copy this, again go back to your Jupyter notebook. Okay, and again I'm reading using a new data frame. Suppose this time dfa equals to same method pd.read, but little bit different method. This time I want to read actually from HTML, right? HTML page. So HTML from HTML, and again within the parentheses using single quote or double quote, paste the URL that you have copied. Okay, and if your website that you are fetching from that data, it is not secure, means it is allowing you to fetch the data, you will get it. You will be able to read the data. So let me execute this. It may take some time because you are fetching from a website. Is done. Awesome. And let me check first of all. Okay, let me use dfa.head. Let's see, is it a data frame? Let me check. Oh, it is saying list object has no attribute head, means it is 100% not a data frame. Okay, it is 100% not a data frame. Let me check what it is. Of course, it is a list, right? Very good. This is a, we can see this square bracket. So it has saved the table in a list format. Let me check. What is the length of the list? So I came to the next line. I say length of DFA. Okay, we have only one element, means this table is saved as a one element. Okay, there is only one element in this list, and that element is nothing but a table, which you are seeing right now. Okay, that element means we have got a list, and that list only we have a one element. Then that element is what? That element is nothing but a table. Clear everyone what I'm saying right now? Okay, so what is that? One element. And how do we access the element of the list? Remember, if you have a list available, suppose L is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4. If you want to access its second element, how will we access? We want to access this element, right? So Python is what? Zero index. So this is 0, this is 1. If I put 1 here, I'll get 2. Okay, if I put 1 here, no, actually, this entire table is at one element. This entire table is treating as a one element. Okay, Varun, entire table is treating as a one element only, because see here also, if I put it here, within this list, I put one more list, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I remove all the elements. Can you tell me how many elements are there in the list this time? How many elements are there in list? Complete list. If you calculate its length will be one only. Check. See, right? Length is what? One, because we are having only one element right now. Okay, internally what it is having does not matter. So internally also, instead of let, is having complete table, but only one complete table is there. It is what having? It is having only one complete list. Okay, only one complete list. That's why it is as an element of one. Okay, so suppose I want to access this element. How can I access? As it has only one element. Okay, so its index will be what? Of course, 0. So if I use 0, I will get this list. Sorry, length of L of 0. L of, sorry, what I'm doing? L of 0. L square bracket 0. Okay, I'm able to access that. Similarly, this list that you are getting DFA, the list that you are getting right now DFA is having only one element. To access that element, what should I use? Okay, similarly, I can mention here DFA. Okay, DFA within the square bracket, I have to pass just 0. Okay, if I execute this and let's check, see, This is what a data frame, what we are seeing right now. Right, everyone? Can you observe? And see what I mentioned, you will not be able to see all the columns. Can you witness this? Okay. And if I come down, there are 30 columns. Okay. But how many columns you are able to see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 10 columns are not visible here. So how will you do the analysis? Now the thing comes which we were discussing earlier. Now it is what? It is a data frame. Now you can save it the way you want. Suppose I'm saving it in my DF final data frame. Okay. So now it will be a data frame done. Now I can use it the way I want. DF final. See, done. It is here. And let me use the dot head. And see, both places I'm getting dot, dot, dot means not complete rows are visible, not complete columns are visible. Right now you want to know, okay, I am able to see only 20 columns. What are the rest 20 columns? I don't know their name. Okay. So what you can mention DF final dot columns attribute. Okay. So all the column names will be visible in front of you. Okay. Now suppose which column is not visible after FGA, nothing is coming. Okay. FGA. This is not coming. So I can copy this. Okay. This is not visible here. Nowhere. See, after FGA, nothing is coming. After directly FT% is coming. FT% is where? Here. In between, no column is there. But I want to see, okay, what the column look like. So I can again use DF final. In the square bracket, I can pass the name of the column like this. And I can execute this. I will see the column data. What kind of data it is having. Clear, everyone? So far, please tell me if any doubt anyone is having in this. Okay. And this is, you should understand how much benefit it is giving me right now. Now tell me, everyone, any doubt anyone is having, even single one, then tell me. Clear? What is the utility? Whatever we have discussed so far, this is just a beginning of the pandas. But whatever I have discussed, actually, it is very, very, very important. Okay. And let me do one more thing. Okay. Let me come to a D drive again. And there is file known as Titanic here as well. Come on, come on, come on. Let me check it. Oh, no, this is not the one I want. Let me open it. Yeah, awesome. This is the file I want to open. Okay. See, I'm opening a file which is located at my system. Okay. Come on, come on, come on, come down. Yeah. Okay. And file name is df. Suppose I'm giving q is equal to pd dot read underscore csv. Okay. And that file name is Titanic1 in the D drive. Okay. So D:/Titanic1 dot csv file. Let me read it. Okay. And let me check how does it look like. dfq dot head. Okay. Can you see I'm getting only one column this time? Okay. Not all the data is there which I'm able to find out, but actually it is the information there. Can you see? Survived, passenger class, name, sex, age, sibling, spouse, abort, abridden, something, something, something. But I'm not able to find it out. Why? Because my data is like this. Come here. And if I open it with the notepad, you understand better actually. What has happened here? See, there is nowhere comma. Okay. There is nowhere comma after every attribute. At the rate symbol has been placed. Okay, everywhere at the rate symbol has been placed, right? That's why you said comma separated value. You said my values are separated by a comma. So it never found a comma. Okay, it never found a comma. So it found out that everything is one column. Okay, everything that is mentioned here is one column because it never found a comma. But suppose some reason you found this kind of file which is not CSV file, but something other than file. Okay, this time these values are separated by another parameter known as at the rate parameter. Okay, they are separated by another parameter known as at the rate parameter. So luckily what we have some option available here. See, let me close it. Come here. Okay, here we have a parameter. Earlier we have a method known as header. Similarly, sorry, a parameter known as header. Here we have one more parameter. If we go inside, it is a sep parameter. This parameter, sep means separator. Okay, and by default the parameter in when we are reading a CSV file, by default, that parameter is the comma. By default, that parameter is comma. So it searches for the comma. By default, because it is a comma separated value file it is trying to search. So by default, it searches for the comma. That's why you are not able to see that, but you can change it the way you want. Example, let me come to the next page and let me copy this. Okay. And I'm pasting it here and I'm mentioning here what? Sep. We know that in our file that we just saw, the separator is not a comma for sure. It is at the rate symbol. So what I can use, I can in the double quotes, I can pass that at the rate symbol. Okay, I'm telling that please consider separator to be at the rate, and let me execute this. Lady FW, suppose. Okay. Okay, and now check your dfw dot head. See, it is able to recognize even from the same file. Survive, passenger class, name, sex, age, siblings, parent, children, affair. Why? Because earlier what it was searching, why it was not able to search here? Because by default it was searching for what? Comma. Default it is searching, default separator is comma. This default is this. So it was searching for this. It never found. That's why I packed, okay, everything is treated as one column only. But then when I change, okay, no, please consider separator to be what? At the rate. So whenever it found the at the rate, understand, okay, it's a part of new attribute. Understand that it is a part of new attribute. Tell me everyone, any doubt in this? Please, I'm waiting.
No, sir.
Okay, fine, others. Okay, so can I end for the day? Can we continue tomorrow, everyone, from here? If it is fine. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow from here. Okay, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye.